So your client asks you, how much is this insurance? And you're setting an appointment, knocking at the door, or you're in the middle of a face-to-face or telesales presentation. What do you say when they ask you how much it costs? We are going to cover how to cover all of those circumstances coming right up. My name is David DeFord, owner of DeFord Insurance Group. I train and recruit agents nationally to sell final expense, Medicare, and annuities, both face-to-face and over the phone. Thanks for watching, and make sure to click the links above or below if you want to learn how working at DeFord Insurance Group would work for you and if it's a good fit. So thanks for checking it out. So our client says at the door, how much does this cost? What I teach agents to say is, that's a great question. All I need is 5 minutes for me to show you how this works, and whatever you do with the information is up to you. Why don't we sit out on the porch and take a look, or how can I come in? So why do I say that? Well, first of all, the client asking this objection is kind of out of place, right? Because cost is not something we want to tell them right up front, right? Because when you give the price for whatever it is that you're selling quickly, without building value, without understanding what the client wants, then all the client's going to think is, oh, it's that much. Can I afford it or not? Without the influencing capability of understanding value and how something that you pay X amount of dollars for is going to make a valuable contribution to your insurance strategy. So this is why we don't answer that question. The other problem is we don't know if they even qualify. We don't know any of the facts. We don't know any of the information. And truly what the client is trying to do, in a sense for us, is qualify us. They're trying to shortchange or short circuit our presentation and try to avoid a prolonged, extracted face-to-face or telephone presentation and trying to just cut it short. But we cannot fall for the deception, the tactic, the strategy they're trying to do. We just need to acknowledge it, tell them that we're going to cover that, and continue back on by closing, like at the door, or getting in the house if you're at the door. And what will happen 90% of the time, the client's fine with that. They feel comfortable when you reply to that because you say you're going to help them with it, and you keep the process of leading the presentation where you want to go versus instead giving them that information and letting them control and not understanding full course what the product does. So you can't give that information, obviously, right up front. Now, if you're on the phone setting an appointment, it's really the same strategy. It's the same rationale, too, and it's the same script. Great question. All I need is 5 minutes for me to show you how this works, and what you decide to do with the information I'll give you is up to you. How about I swing by at 10, or does 2 sound better? Same exact strategy. We answer the objection very briefly. We sell the appointment. It's no big deal. What you do with the information is up to you. And then we close for the appointment. How about I come by at 10 or 2? And like in the door knock example, why don't we sit on the porch, or can I come in? Now the last point here is what happens when you hear this in a presentation. And I've run final expense appointments in selling insurance my entire career, and I would hear this from time to time. And the only time I would really hear this is right near the first quarter of the presentation. You wouldn't hear it about halfway through or 3/4 through, because you've moved beyond that initial urgency, knee-jerk objection type of thing, and you're listening intently. They are at least intently at this point, listening to the value proposition, how it works. They're intrigued, and they're following my lead. But in the beginning of presentations, you're kind of still establishing who's leading who. And so many times when somebody says, so how much does this cost? Can you just show me what it costs? It's just a knee-jerk objection. They don't really mean it. It's kind of the same psychology you would hear at the door over the phone. Just tell me what this is so I don't have to spend a lot of time doing this, or I'm stressed out, I just want to know the facts without all the hullabaloo or whatever, right? So the same exact strategy is what you use in a presentation over the phone or face-to-face to deflect it. Great question. I'm definitely going to get at that. I've just got to ask you a few questions first before I can give you a firm answer. Then the response to that, as far as what question you ask to close that part, is wherever you left off in the script. If you're building rapport, you get back to asking them questions about themselves. If you're pre-qualifying, you get back to the question you left off at, or whatever was next on the list, and you take back control with another question. This is probably the most common side point here. Way that agents lose out on this process is they rebut the objection how much does this cost, but they don't continue to close by asking another question to retain control, because asking questions is what maintains your control of your presentation. So without asking those questions, the whole rebut to what they're saying is all for naught, because they'll still be in control and be kind of confused who's controlling to an extent too. So that's how you deal with it, guys. It's not that hard. Just don't take it seriously. How could they, right? I mean, how could you? They don't know anything about the product. They don't know how the differences are. They don't know nothing. So you can't give them a price. You don't even know if they qualify. So just tell them to get to it, be nice about it, then continue back off at the appointment, door knock, or presentation script, and continue where you were, and you'll be surprised 95% of the time you won't miss a beat, and they won't mind either. So that's my sales training advice for today on how to handle somebody who asks how much it costs. Use this strategy because it works. I know, I've used it thousands of times. If you'd like to learn more about selling insurance with David Duford, me, Duford Insurance Group's agency, then click the links above or below. You'll learn more about how my agency works. And thanks always for watching. We'll see you next time. Bye.